Hey guys, welcome back to another GTA Online video. My name is Saintsfan, and today we're actually talking a little bit more about this supposed movie DLC. Look, we still don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, it makes sense, and there have been some teases, but ultimately we don't know. This is sort of a part 2 though to the video yesterday, and I just wanted to talk about more fun things that actually could be in a summer blockbuster update. This is sort of going to wrap up my idea of an ideal movie DLC. If you haven't checked out the video yesterday, I'll leave a link in the description. That covers, I guess, maybe the main part of the DLC, which is basically a heist-like movie, if that makes sense. You're going through like a heist, but instead of it being a heist, you're just making a movie, and you'd still get paid the same. The missions would still be similar. You're still fighting people. You're still killing things. Which is why I think actually it would end up being a pretty solid DLC. Also, you're doing it with Michael. But to sort of pad out that hypothetical DLC, I thought of some other cool things Rockstar could add. So, without further ado, let's get in. Number 1, the director mode in online. And I know this maybe is for like a minority of players, but honestly, I do think a director mode in online could actually appeal to a decent amount of people in the game, even though you may not think it. Obviously, like the main reason for a director mode in online would be to just have access to all those director mode features, but online, with your friends, with other people. There are some really cool things you can do in the director mode. I mean, you can like stop time, you can change the weather, you can, I think, spawn stuff in certain instances. I mean, there's some really cool stuff, and that's with the director mode being what, like 10 years old or something like that. So ideally, in this hypothetical DLC, they could even update the director mode, add more features, and make it even better than it is now. But with a director mode in online, again, the main thing, people could make movies and stuff a lot easier, and that could be cool. But in addition to people being able to like make movies and all that, it would just allow people to play with their friends with cheats, with mods, basically. In addition to changing the weather and changing the time and spawning stuff in, you can turn on like super jump. You can turn on explosive bullets. I think there's one for no gravity or like a limited gravity. Imagine having all those options turned on in a little invite-only mode with your friends, just messing around. I mean, the low gravity one itself is just so much fun. You hop in a motorcycle or something, you turn that on, and then you just go to town. You start flying everywhere, hoping you can do all these crazy stunts. It would just be fun. So even if you didn't use the director mode in its entirety to like make movies and stuff, just having the option of some of those cheats, being able to play sort of with your friends, that would be perfect. And then look, a director mode in online in a movie DLC, it's the perfect explanation for it. It's the perfect reason. And look, Rockstar, if they're worried about how can we charge money for this, make it a paid thing behind, like you have to buy like the movie property. Let's say the movie property is like, I don't know, $2, $3, $4, $5 million, some crazy thing. It'll eventually give you passive income and all that, but it also unlocks this director mode now. Boom. It's as simple as that, I think. So that's one of the first things. A director mode in online, maybe an updated one at that, could just be so beneficial to the game. And I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Again, you'd have to do this sort of in like its own separate lobby. You're not going to be doing this sort of stuff in a public lobby or anything. You probably have to make it so where you can't earn money in that particular lobby because, again, cheats and stuff would be on. So Rockstar might have to tweak some things like that, but just being able to play with friends in a little session with the director mode enabled would be incredible. The second thing is another thing that sort of ties in with the director mode, and that's the Rockstar Editor. But an updated Rockstar Editor, because the one we have now definitely is lacking in some features. And again, this is something maybe that isn't necessarily for the majority of players. It is just a quality of life thing. But if they are going to do a movie DLC with Michael, what better DLC to fix the Rockstar Editor or to update it, to add some more features, some new features? I mean, one of the biggest things, unless you have mods, is the draw distance, basically, or like the distance that camera can move from the player. It is very small on consoles. And maybe that was because of the older consoles. Now that we're on the newer consoles, maybe they should just take that limit out. They could also add a bunch of other stuff, you know, more filters, different effects, I don't know, more other things to help the Rockstar Editor process to maybe be a little bit smoother, honestly, there's a number of mods that do end up changing the Rockstar Editor. They can just take a look at those and just make them official, basically. Maybe they could take out the stupid restriction in some areas of the map where the Rockstar Editor just doesn't even work. They could also maybe take out the restriction of when you're in first person, you can't even change the camera in the Rockstar Editor. That would be something, again, quality of life, but I do think a lot of people that use the Rockstar Editor would love something like that. And that sort of does tie in with that first point, the director mode. I mean, if you are going to be making sort of a little movie or something in GTA Online, having a better Rockstar Editor would just make life easier. And then all of that sort of ties in with this third thing, the ability to actually watch people's Rockstar edited movies in the theaters. Now, I don't know how crazy like of a feat that would be. I don't know exactly how Rockstar would be able to pull that off. I don't know if that's an easy thing to do. Probably not. So maybe not having access to everyone's Rockstar edited clips would be something that's possible. Maybe only, I don't know, maybe they do like a monthly thing or a weekly thing where they choose, you know, someone's Rockstar edited movie and then they put that in the theaters. In the video I made yesterday, I mentioned that after you're done my hypothetical heist movie like DLC and you've made the summer blockbuster, that you could go watch it in the theaters. Well, in addition to that, maybe you could watch other people's Rockstar editor movies. I just think that would be a lot of fun. It's obviously, again, not anything that's like a major addition, but not only does it fit this sort of theme, it just adds more life to the world. And it actually sort of gives incentive to people to be creative and to sort of make those type of movies. And when it comes to that sort of stuff, I just don't think that's a negative, at least from Rockstar's perspective. Like, sure, maybe they're not making shark card sales from those particular movie type things, but it's just, all of it's just free publicity. And in my opinion, I think it would sort of increase the community aspect of the game. Like, imagine if there was actually just one guy making a bunch of really epic little Rockstar edited films that just constantly keeps getting added to the theaters. That guy would sort of almost be famous in the world of GTA Online, which I know sounds silly, but just stuff like that makes gaming communities fun, at least in my opinion. And then the last thing I wanted to mention, in my ideal sort of movie DLC, new properties being mansions. Now, this is something, look, we've all wanted for 7-8 years now. Will it ever happen? At this point, we don't know. With the theme of a movie DLC, and with my idea of us potentially becoming sort of a movie star, what better way to cap that off than to have the option of buying mansions? You're a movie star. Go get a mansion up in the hills with a great view of the ocean. They'd probably cost a lot of money. And honestly, what would they do differently than other properties, other apartments? Probably nothing. Maybe you could have a slightly bigger garage, but realistically, it'd probably be the same old property. Like, there's nothing really new. It's a mansion. And I think that alone would be kind of cool. And I did sort of mention this, I guess, sort of finally wrap up. I did mention this in yesterday's video. As far as vehicles and all that in this hypothetical DLC, like, Rockstar can go crazy with it. They could go different eras, different types of vehicles, concept vehicles from different movies. Look, if they even wanted to get crazy with it, if they wanted to make an Oppressor Mark III and have it just be like an Iron Man suit, go for it. Why not at this point? So all in all, I definitely think a movie DLC, especially with Michael, could be done very well. And hopefully you guys agree. And as always, if you want to add more to this, let us know in the comments. What other cool ideas would you add to a movie DLC? I know, like, just hearing the words movie DLC doesn't sound that exciting, but that's not the case, I don't think. And whether or not Rockstar do sort of what I've mentioned, I guess we'll have to wait and see, but it's definitely something I think that is possible in GTA Online. But anyway, that's going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please drop it a like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more GTA content, and as always, we'll see you guys in the next one.